Okay, so here we are. A microphone on one hand
Don't laugh.
and a karak on the other. It's fine. It's our first episode.
It's not gonna be like this the whole time, guys.
Yeah, don't worry. We're having the jitters because this is our first episode together. So I'm Nuha,
I'm Riti.
and we now apparently have a podcast. So welcome to our first episode of Karak Diaries, where we're just gonna be talking about life, what we got up to this week. And yeah, thank you for joining us today.
Okay, I think we want to kickstart this series with a reflection on 2024 and what our goals are going to be in 2025. But before we start that, we want to tell you a little bit of about our story and how we came up with the title Karak Diaries. And so yeah, Nuha, like when was the first time that you ever had karak?
I don't know, to be honest. I think it was probably some in uni. Probably one of the times where we went out as like a group or something like that in our first year. I genuinely can't remember the first time I had it, but I feel like every time we'd go out to like the city, we'd always get some kind of karak on the way back or like after we finish eating at a restaurant or something. I think it was just like a nice way to like end the night or something with some karak. Yeah. Do you remember when you first had it?
For me, I think it was more of like these social events that was happening on campus
Right.
for like activities,
Mhm.
and they would always bring Lokaimat and karak
I love the
together. Yeah, so I would have it only on campus. I've never really had it outside
Oh.
off campus, only after I graduated and after I live in the city.
Oh, okay.
Then it became like a thing, like, you know, because after eat you want to go get like a 1 dirham karak.
Yeah.
So but now
Oh.
due to inflation it's becoming
Yeah,
2
can
to
we
3
please talk
dirhams.
about that? Because I remember in uni it was not this expensive.
I know.
So when you had it in uni, I wonder if like where those like the events got their karak from.
Oh,
Do you think it was like bougie karak?
to be honest, yeah, some of them have
Really good.
like different spices
Yeah.
and like, you know, I don't know if the karak have saffron or
Oh.
is that like more of like chai.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good question. Maybe
Yeah.
we should check this out.
But once I've had one with saffron.
Yeah.
And
Did
it
you
was
like it?
yeah. Oh, to be honest, this is very controversial because I'm actually not a big fan of saffron, and I know a lot of people is gonna come at me because saffron is like a very expensive spice
Yeah,
and all.
yeah.
You know, it's like it's like known
Yeah,
to be
which
one
why?
of the good ones.
I actually don't even know why it's expensive
Oh, it's because it's hard
to get
to get it because they are these like little tiny petal thingy inside a flower, and it has to be handpicked, and because it's so small and delicate and it takes a lot to be like worth 1 gram,
Yeah.
so that's why the price is very expensive.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's when we first had our karak. And then I guess fast forward to post graduation, you said that you drank it quite a bit outside after college.
Yeah.
And I think like how the podcast, the way it all started was probably because Riti and I would kind of like go for karak quite often, and we would always just catch up with that, just going on walks near our neighborhood. And yeah, just karak was just something that if we didn't want to go out for something fancy or anything like that, we
Yeah.
just gravitate towards karak. And then one night we were at, where were we?
We were at tea break.
That was tea break. Oh,
tea
okay.
break.
So
It was across the
yeah,
street.
so we went to tea break and we started realizing how much we actually talk.
We just
We
yap too
just
much.
Yap and talk for hours. And then I think, was it you? You were like, oh,
Yeah.
why don't we just like start a podcast? And then I told her that a lot of people has actually told me like that they wanted to
Yeah.
start a podcast. And I've always been the kind of person to be like, yeah, let's do it. But then like I never really like do it or anything. So I think Riti's the one that kind of like pushed me to do this. And honestly, no regrets so far.
So far, I mean, we just started. If you have regret,
Yeah, but like the first day when we did it, remember we were just figuring
oh,
out the titles that we wanted, the logo.
yeah, it's because like to me, I thought starting a podcast is easy. I thought you just talk and like but oh my god, so much like work actually goes into it. We have to consider like the setup, and oh my god, I spent so much time researching like which
Guys,
microphone to
all of
get.
this was credits to Riti.
Oh.
She really did the research on the mics to get, and yeah, we're each holding a mic right now, and I feel so powerful. It's so fun.
Yeah, and Nuha is the one who designed our logo actually. Oh, you want to talk about like how you designed the logo?
It's nothing much. It's just AI.
No, it's good.
Yeah, but I think it's so cute. We did everything on Canva, and I don't know if Canva's gonna come for us for this, if we're even allowed to use it. But
Hey, you paid for it. It's Canva Pro. Come
that's
on.
true. That's true. So we just did a prompt on one of those AI things that Canva has, and like Canva. Shout out to Canva. Honestly, we did so much on it. We did our little video animations on Canva too. I mean, it's not much, but
Mhm.
like we don't do design or we don't do any of these things on a regular basis. So Canva saved us. The prompt, we just wanted it to look like, just two girls having tea. Obviously, one had to have a hijab, me. We struggled a bit with Riti. You want to talk about that?
I think every time we put in the prompt, we try to put like an Asian girl drinking
Yeah.
tea, and it would give like a very East Asian, which is only one type of
Yeah.
Asian, and Asia
Yeah,
is
yeah.
huge. So trying to get it to be more related to me as a Southeast Asian was quite hard,
Mhm.
which is surprising. I would thought that like having the hijabi would be a bit more complicated, but it came
Yeah.
out like in one or
True.
two
That was like,
tries.
yeah, that was the second try.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Highly suggest using Canva AI if you want to do something like this, because there were so many other like styles that you can choose from.
There's like
So,
anime
yeah.
ones as well.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was really nice. Thank you, Canva. And yeah, I guess next thing is probably like what we hope to get out of this podcast. Like, what do we want to get out of doing this, spending time with each other, recording our talks? Do you think it's gonna be different? Or do you think we're just gonna be talking forever and ever and ever?
Oh yeah, I think we should keep an eye on the time and like make sure that we don't go too long. I don't even know how long it's been so far right
Yeah.
now. Oh, it shows at the bottom actually, 7 minutes now. Yeah, so I think for me, what I wanted to get out of this podcast is probably just again spending time with Nuha as possible, having an excuse to make her come over every week, even though I see her every week anyways.
Yeah.
But I think it's nice to also be able to share our stories, because no matter how we think that we're the only ones who go through these problems or these excitements or anything in life really, there's always someone out there who share very similar experience. And
Yeah, like can
yeah,
relate, right?
exactly. And so I think it's really important to create a community out of this, and we're just looking forward to really not touch people really, but just to be able to share our normal life really to normal people.
Yeah, so true. So true, so true. I agree with everything that you just said. Yeah, like Riti and I, we can talk for so long. Or we can just have those days where we don't talk at all, we just spend our time on our phones. What better way to like actually, I guess be more productive with our time than like record and like also share you guys like our conversations, our stories, because sometimes they're super unserious. But sometimes I feel like, you know what, the world has to hear about
Yeah.
this. The world as in like 5 of our friends.
Shout out to 5 of our friends.
Yeah,
You know who.
you'll come on here soon whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me personally, going into this new year, I guess we'll touch on that a bit later, but I also want to work on like maintaining hobbies, because I think that's something that I struggle with. It's just like finding a hobby and then sticking with it, because I feel like for me, I like to try different things, but I never like stick
Yeah.
to one thing. So I'm hoping that with this podcast, you know, you can keep me accountable for it. But I also don't want it to become to a point where I feel like, oh my God, it's like work. You know, I don't want it to be like that. So I hope it becomes like an enjoyable hobby, something that I can stick
Yeah.
with.
I mean,
And
what do you think of
yeah.
it so far?
I
Yeah.
didn't really like it. I was really nervous because maybe we can tell them that we like the process actually because we initially thought that we were gonna do a
Yes,
video.
we did. We did. We
Right.
wanted to put it on YouTube. We even thought about like getting those like I don't know if you've seen like these flat chairs in Muji, and the retail price was so high, so we started like googling on Amazon and everything, and we were about to purchase it along with these microphones actually the same night,
Yeah.
but then thankfully Nuha was the one who voiced her
Yeah.
opinion that she was not comfortable with the video,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we've talked about this topic a little bit more, just like me trying to understand her, like your perspective. So it would be nice for you to
Yeah.
share also like why you decided.
Yeah. I think like the first night when we decided to do a podcast, obviously like we were like
High on
high
energy,
on like
yeah.
adrenaline and like you want to try all these
Yeah.
new things, all these cool things, be like the other podcasters with videos. So obviously I was like on board with like everything. I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to have this, I want to have that. But then I think thinking about it more and like realizing that Riti was super on board with this idea of doing a podcast, like she was super serious about it, made me also think like, okay, like if we're really, really serious about it, then gotta think about like the long
Yeah,
term
for sure.
things, right? And I think for me, showing my face to the world is probably not something that I'm comfortable with doing yet. I don't know, maybe that changes in the future, but for now, I feel like just sticking with like audio is something more like something that I'm more comfortable with.
for now.
Yeah, for now.
But you touched upon the topic of evil eye and like
yeah, like evil eye and just like you know, you never know what people can say about you when they see you on social media and all these things. So especially if we were ever to make a video and post it on YouTube, it's obviously gonna go like public, right? And you never know if one person's gonna share this with another person. You never know what they can say about you behind your back. And I believe that those things can be real. Like, you know, it could come out of
Yeah.
jealousy or something like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, just some things to think about.
Yeah, for sure. Like for me, I've never really thought about evil eye and everything, but after you explain to me like what it is, although I'm not like on the level of like belief as you do, but I'm glad that like you voiced it. So we found like a common ground on how to
Yeah.
navigate it. So then we realized that if we still want to put it on YouTube, we'll do like a video using Canva and everything. So it was a learning process overall, and I think
Yeah.
that's how we came up with this whole setup so far. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm so thankful that you were like flexible with it too, because I didn't know how you were gonna take it. But then I was like, ah, she's Ritty, she's my friend.
Can I out you on something?
Why?
You said you wanted to wear a mask to record.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, guys.
No, so before we came up with the no video at all, Nuha said she wants to record the video wearing a mask.
I just didn't know how you would take it, and I felt so bad. I was like, oh my God, what if Ritty really wants to do a video? It's okay, like I'll just wear a mask.
Nah, I think this whole mask thing, COVID still scared her, scarred her till this day.
Imagine if that were to happen though. I feel like I'd run out of breath.
Yeah, exactly. It will be so muffled that we no longer need this
Yeah.
windscreen on our microphone.
That's so true. That's so true. I'd just be like sweating under the mask too.
No.
Just like heavy breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how we are today here. No video yet. We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, I guess still sticking with the topic of like podcasts and stuff. Do you listen to any other podcasts?
I don't listen to a lot of the podcasts in general, but Gotham has shared a few podcasts with me, and those are very, very serious ones that
Like
touch
what?
on like careers and meditation and stuff like that. But I don't recall any of the authors so far. But I don't really listen to it on a daily basis. Yeah.
Yeah. He does?
He does. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
does.
What
Oh,
about
okay.
you?
That's so curious. I feel like Gotham would make a good guest here.
Mm.
Maybe he has a lot of things to share. Maybe we can ask him if we're better than those podcasters.
Yeah.
We only have like one episode. Anyway, for me, I do listen and watch other podcasts. I remember, well, I actually had like an era of podcasts that was after graduation when I just started working, and you weren't here yet.
No, I was home.
Yeah, you weren't here yet, and I guess I was just like navigating this new life outside of like the dorm setting and just like being new at work and all that. And I found some podcasts that had to do with like navigating life in your 20s, you know, one of those like, is it self-help? I don't know. It's just like some, you know, they just touch on like various topics that people go through, I guess, in their 20s, and I thought that was really comforting. I also listened to some of these Muslim girls. What do they call it? I think it's like the digital sisterhood or something like that. I can't remember, but they're just these Muslim girls, and they don't only talk about like the religion and Islam, but they just talk about like their life as just Muslim girls, and I they're really funny. And yeah, those are like the big ones that I used to like listen to. Now I think it's don't really have the same like I guess motivation to listen to those podcasts, but I've always thought
but you're a lot busier
cool.
now.
That's
like,
true.
You know.
Yeah,
So.
I've always thought it would be cool to do one. So
Here we are. We're starting our own. We're putting ourselves out there. I know. So I guess that's the story of how we came up with Karak Diaries, and we've already mentioned what we wanted to get out of this first episode. So I guess I wanted to start it out by asking you, what do you think is your biggest lesson of 2024, and maybe not just your biggest lesson, but also share any reflections that you think that is worth sharing or comfortable with sharing.
Yeah. Oof. I know we had these questions written down, but girl, I did not like really think about it. I think it's nice because I just like to like speak my thoughts anyway when I'm with you. So these are like my full unfiltered thoughts about 2024, because I personally didn't have time to like actually even sit down and kind of reflect on what I did last year. But last year went by really, really fast. Feel like I blinked and then, you know, it's the new year. And that's a little bit scary actually, because I don't know how time feels like it's going by so fast. And actually, like even now it's already mid-January.
I know.
So I remember just saying Happy New Year to you, and like now it's the 17th. So yeah, I think that the idea of like time passing by is really, really scary, because I start to wonder like what am I actually doing with my time post work. Not post work as in like post work, like after work hours and all that. But I guess the biggest lesson in 2024, like I think just managing my time and all that, maybe, because I did start like my new master's course also along with work. And I remember when I first started working, I wanted to give myself time to kind of just ease into work, not really worry about this master's class until like much later. And that was fun. Just going to work, come back home, and like, you know, you have all this time to like go do other things. But then I started going to school again in like September. Yeah, in September. And I realized that it's actually so much harder than I thought it would be, because work already is quite difficult and like it's very draining. And then going home and having to do like homework on top of that. I was like, wow, how did we used to do this when you were in like, you know, uni? But that was like we were full-time students back then, and now it's like I'm working and then being a part-time student, so I can't really compare, right? But yeah, I think it's something that I'm still learning. I wouldn't say that it's something that, I mastered
Mm.
in 2024, because I mean, I just started like going to school in September. So it's not really that much time to like understand and build some kind of routine yet for me. So it is something that I'm still learning, and these classes, they happen at different times too. Like this semester I'm having classes on Sundays. And
Yeah, that's
so I
rough,
have I
man.
even if I have a routine last year, I'd have to build a completely new routine for this semester. So it's one of those things that I think I just have to be flexible. So I think the main lesson here is just to be flexible and not be super rigid with myself and what I can take on and do. Because yeah, it's nice to have all these schedules and like all these plans, but if you're gonna be rigid and not be flexible, then I feel like it's just gonna take a strain on me. So yeah. Wow, what did I just say? I feel like I just said so many things and like
Overall, you said time management.
yes, yes, thank you.
But I think it's more than just time management,
Mm.
because right now, like, you have a full-time job
Yeah.
and you're also doing a master's degree on the
Mm.
side. But then how do you balance these like responsibilities with making sure that your mental health is like doing well also, and that you are spending enough time with your friends, and you also have to call your family, and like, these are not easy topics to navigate through, and these are not normal
Yeah.
for like normal people,
Yeah.
because a lot of the time you like either go to school or like you just have a job.
Yeah.
But now it's becoming more common for people with full-time jobs to also do online courses on the
For
side.
sure.
So what do you think is something that could be shared to people who are more like related to you, who could have be experiencing similar things like you?
I'd say just because you're doing all those things, just because you have all those things to juggle on your plate, don't like neglect going out and seeing your friends. I think that's always a nice way to like de-stress at the end of the week, and still make sure that you have a life. I
Yeah.
think you don't even really need to do much with your friends. Like, just take some time to see them for like a little bit in a day, and that's enough. And if you don't feel like seeing your friends, then do something nice for yourself. Go somewhere else beside your room. I know sometimes, some days, all I want to be is just be in my room and be in my bed and just like nap. But I also feel like doing too much of that can make me really, I don't know, just feel demotivated also, because I'm just so tired. And I really need to force myself. You really need to like force yourself to like go out and do things, even if you're tired and all that. Because I think seeing people can also lift up your energy in some ways, right? I don't know. That's how I feel every time I see you guys, at least.
Yeah.
Like sometimes,
Well, that's glad to hear.
I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I'm like, why did I say yes to this plan? All I want to do is just sleep. But then after, like after I see them, I'm like, why was I even complaining? Like, this
Yeah.
is what I needed actually. And, all of that thing about just wanting to sleep and stuff is just like excuses, really. Yeah, I think that's the main thing. I started to think about like all my colleagues who have like family as well, who are doing
Oh,
this.
wow, yeah.
Like, props to them, because
Yeah.
having to juggle like a family on top of all this, wow.
I can't
Like,
imagine.
can't imagine, really. Like, is this like a generational thing? Like, do they just have like a superpower or something? Because how? Like,
But first, are these are they women or
oh,
men in your
it's
cohort right
actually
now?
quite even. Yeah, a lot
Oh,
of them
wow.
have families, and honestly, it's amazing, because on top of homework, on top of attending lectures, on top of work, on top of making sure your kids are okay, going to school, your
Yeah.
kids' homework. Oh my God. I'm just grateful that I'm doing it right now.
But I think also like for you, because you're living alone,
Mm.
right? So you have to cook.
Mm.
And like, how do you navigate through that so far?
For me, what's been a lifesaver for that is because I have been honest with myself. Okay, actually, when I first started working, I was not honest with myself, and I was like, yeah, no worries, I can cook. I can come home and I can cook and do all these things
Yeah.
before I go to bed for the next day. And honestly, it started out fine. I was cooking, but I was just starting working, and then it like hit, and like more responsibilities started to come through, and then I realized that, oh my God, if I want to still make it to like go to the gym and stuff like that, I don't have the time to like really cook on the same day. And yes, the idea of like meal prepping still came up, but I think I'm just not like a meal prep kind of girl. I think I just need to have like variety and like different days and stuff. So at least I'm honest about that. And then later on, I realized that I can't cook. Like I'm just gonna be too tired sometimes, just coming back from work, and that I just, no matter like how much I want to, and no matter like how much I want to develop my cooking skills and stuff like that, it's actually really difficult to do all that after a long day at work. And work is so unpredictable sometimes, so you just never know. And so I'd come back home sometimes and I'm like, oh wow, nothing to eat and I don't want to cook. So then I discovered what's it called, Callo. So I shout out to Callo. I wouldn't mind if you sponsor me or send me a code or anything. I hope you're listening. But yeah, I discovered Callo, and it's this like subscription you do where you can like pick your meals. I opted for like lunch and dinner. So they would give me my meals for tomorrow today, and I opted for like in the evening. Yeah, I opted for in the evening. So you can do like morning and evening, but
you can choose when they deliver also.
But I realized like morning, I mean, I can't do that. I'm at work, and the best option is like after work hours. So they would usually like deliver it like at 5, and then I would get the meals for tomorrow, and that's been so great because ever since I started like school and all that, it's been so nice just knowing that there's gonna be food in the fridge and that there's gonna be food tomorrow for me.
Yeah, I think it's such a cool concept because like the food comes, it's not super fresh, but it's still like relatively fresh.
I mean, for something that
because it's delivered the day before.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I don't even know how they do that, but yeah. So I did that for a bit. I opted for like the weekly subscription because, as I said, like sometimes I get bored really fast. So while I am thankful for the convenience, sometimes I do get bored of the meals. So then I will have to like stop a bit and like see if I can like.
Do you get to choose which meals?
Yes, you do get to choose which meals like every day you want, and every day there's like new dishes, and they're constantly coming up with new ones too. So that's exciting. So I opted for the weekly ones because I didn't want to like put all my eggs into like one basket and just go straight
like the
into
whole
like
month,
the monthly, because I just feel like I'm gonna get so tired or so bored of it or something like that.
But it's also like easy if you like the next week you're on holiday and you're traveling, so you don't have to feel like, oh, I wasted
exactly
this, so.
Exactly, yeah. So that's why I only opted for the weekly ones, and that's been a good idea. Coming this new year, I haven't really resubscribed. I'm just waiting to get paid. And then I'll probably resubscribe.
This is real life, guys.
I'm coming for you.
Yeah, but how much is each meal for that subscription?
I think each meal is around, I think 35 or 40 dirhams. I can't remember, which is cheaper than takeaway, like ordering food on Talabat or something like that. But I mean, more expensive than if you were just to do your own groceries, which I realize. But yeah, I mean, that's just a budget thing, I guess.
Yeah,
you spend more on this, you spend less on other things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, technically, you're also buying time. Like you're not spending time cooking, so you use your time to do other things that you have to do.
Yeah, it's been such a lifesaver for me. I actually did see like other subscriptions where you get the ingredients and you just cook something like
HelloFresh.
You did. Yeah.
I did HelloFresh when I was in New York. Yeah, but for that, you still have to cook.
You still have to cook, yeah.
You know,
did the ingredients come like prepped already, or would you still have to portion everything out, chop?
So, what I did with HelloFresh, the portions of the ingredients have already been measured to how many, like, so I select, for instance, what I used to do was 6 different meals, but 2 portions each. So they will deliver the whole box. So each like meal comes with a set of 2 portions already. So then when I have to cook, I only have to cook for like in the morning or in the evening, depending on like whether I have class or not in the morning, and then I'll already have 2 meals.
Right.
You know? So it's convenient that way. But then again, you still have to cook and everything. But it's easy in a sense that you don't have to think of the ingredients.
Yes,
so let's say it needs some special sauce, like a Worcestershire sauce or something like that. It comes in like tiny packets
Great
already. So you don't have to feel like, oh, I can't cook this because I don't have that.
That's so true.
So yeah, the only basic things that you would need is like salt and pepper and like, you know, sugar. Those are basic.
Yeah.
I feel like if you don't have those in your kitchen, then excusez-moi, you shouldn't be cooking.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah.
I agree. That's a good point. And you enjoy doing it.
I liked it only
Yeah.
because I also had quite a bit of time back then as
Yeah.
well. So I don't mind. But now everyone knows, like even you know that I love cooking. But
Yeah.
oh man, I have downgraded to meal prepping because I cannot like think about cooking every single
Yeah,
day.
that's so hard,
So
no?
it is super
Genuinely,
hard.
like I don't know how my
Super
mom
hard.
does it.
Shout out to all
Shout out to
moms.
all moms who cook
I don't know
every
how you
day
do
with like
it.
5 different side dishes.
I know. Oh my god. It's not just a main dish,
Yeah.
it's side dishes as well.
Literally. Oh
I
my
don't
god.
understand how they
Like,
do it.
good job, you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're meal prepping now.
Yeah,
How do you come up with like what you want to eat for the next week?
I think for me, I do a lot of stir fries just because stir fries have a good balance of like protein and vegetables
Yeah.
as well. But I like to explore sometimes with like food back home. So
Yeah.
sometimes I make summer rolls. But sometimes I also like make some Western food. Like I made beef shank stew last week.
That was so good, by the way, guys.
Oh
She
yeah, I
gave me a
shared it
little
with her.
bit, and oh, yummy.
Yeah, so but those it's when I feel like I want to cook because it takes a long time.
Yeah.
But sometimes I also get like frozen dumplings to put in the
Yeah,
freezer.
yeah. I
So
also
it's
have
like
those in my fridge too when you're
exactly,
just
it's
so bored.
easy,
Yeah, it's
to
easy.
like whip it up in the evening.
Yeah.
So that it's still I feel like you're having something fresh. So
Mhm.
technically it's not fresh, but
Yeah.
you know, you
Still
don't want to
something.
eat the same food for both lunch and dinner.
Yeah, I get
But for
that.
me, it's easy to meal prep because I take food to work for lunch. So it's the best way to save money as
Yeah.
well. So
100%. 100%. I think if I had like your schedule, I would also like probably have to meal prep. But I don't know. I just can't get over the idea of like eating the same
Same
food like the
food.
whole week. I don't know. Maybe that's something that I have to train for.
No,
I don't know.
I said the same thing about eating the same food for the whole week, and then I'm like, you gotta do what you gotta do.
No.
You know?
Yeah, I get it. You
So,
gotta do what you gotta do. And it
yeah.
saves you time and
Yeah.
effort in the long run.
But also, I feel like I tend to eat the meal prep only for lunch. And for lunch, because I don't have breakfast and I eat lunch around 1 or 1:30,
Yeah.
I just feel so hungry that at that point, any food tastes good.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
know?
that's fair.
Yeah, so I
I've
don't
been
think
there
of it
too.
like, oh, I already ate this yesterday, I don't want to eat it, you
You're
know?
just so hungry.
Yeah,
You can
I
eat
was just so
whatever.
hungry.
And at that point, you're just thankful you have something in your fridge.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel you, girl. I feel
Yeah.
you. Yeah. So that's something that you're gonna take with you to 2025 too.
Yes,
Yes,
I
that's
am
what you're currently
continuing.
doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm
No, I
currently
think
doing.
you're good at it.
Yeah. I
Like, you're
cook
good at it.
mostly on Saturday or Sunday.
Saturday or
Yeah.
Sunday, yeah. And you do like grocery shopping and stuff like that too.
Yeah, I used to go to Lulu here next to our home, but
Mm.
now I find it very much more convenient to do Carrefour deliveries. Yeah.
Yes.
And they do have some things that Lulu doesn't have. Like
So true.
their dumplings are, I think they're better.
Mm.
They have these like beef, like tiny dumplings, sort of.
Oh.
Yeah, and
It's
then
Asian.
I don't know if it's Asian. I'm not sure. I even
Mm.
forgot the brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Show me later.
Yeah, I'll show you later. Yeah. But they're really good, and I would
Mm.
make it with the miso paste that you gave me. So I make it like a miso soup,
Mm.
and then I put these dumplings in, and
That's so
it's
nice,
good.
actually. Very
Yeah.
easy.
I think it would be even better if there's like chili oil or something.
Yeah.
But I don't have chili oil.
Have you tried making?
Actually, I've seen a recipe, but I haven't made it yet.
Yeah. I mean, you can always just
Yeah.
buy Walmart or
Yeah.
something. There's.
I feel like making chili oil. Oh my god, I will cough so much.
I tried it once. And
How
then
did
that's
it
it.
go?
I mean, it was nice because
Yeah.
sometimes you just want like a little spice,
Yeah.
and you know that you have it in your fridge. But yeah, I don't know. I just did it once and never again.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. But yeah, I think Callow is also something that I'll be taking into 2025. Just as I said, waiting to get paid.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I am thinking of doing a monthly subscription this time, actually, just because I know if I start a month next week or something, then by the time my monthly subscription ends, it's gonna be Ramadan, and I won't need to subscribe then because I mean it's Ramadan. I'll be able to like cook or like most likely do those iftar dinner
yeah.
outside. So yeah, I think just a month subscription, just so I know and it's secure that I'll have my meals for a month. I also found out that you can skip delivery actually.
Oh.
Yeah, you can skip delivery, so it'll be pushed forward to another day.
I see.
Does that make sense? Like let's say you don't want food Wednesday, so they won't deliver Wednesday, but it will save that Wednesday food for another day. So it'll just be pushed back.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
So it's not like
Yeah.
rigid month. So like
Yeah.
it's not like from January 17th to February 18th. It's like
You
flexible
can push it,
depending on-
okay, whether you
Yeah.
skip or
And
not.
I didn't know that.
And is it unlimited amount of skips or?
Oh yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You can choose to like skip any time.
Mm.
And the monthly one is cheaper. So
Yeah.
why not? But yeah.
You just have to remember to skip it, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Remember to skip it. I think if you get bored of the foods, that's when I know to skip.
Do they have an app or is it on the
Yeah,
website?
I always just the app. Yeah, and I found that my colleagues also use it too.
Oh,
It's actually
nice.
more common than I thought.
Yeah. I know a couple of people who actually use it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
so
they
many
also
subscription
have
services like this.
like, because it's Kcal, right?
Yes, I've heard of that too. Yeah.
Oh, you don't use Kcal?
No,
Which
I
one
use
do you
Calo.
Calo.
But I've heard of KCal as
yeah.
well. Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think Kcal is more promoted for like what do you
Like
call it?
fitness and,
yeah,
like, health and
fitness
stuff.
and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
controlling like
Yes,
what
like
is
diet,
in
I
the food
guess.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Calo has like various options. If you want it to be protein heavy, or if you want like to be balanced, or you want to like lose weight or something like that. Like
Oh, you can choose.
yes,
I
you can
see.
choose the what's it called, the type of meals that
Meals
you
that you
want.
want.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's nice also. Yeah. Oh my God, really just rambled. But yeah, that's for
It's so cool.
2025.
So, do you have any specific goals or any New Year's resolution that you want to take forward, or not take forward, but like that you want to set for yourself for 2025?
For 2025, what do I see myself? A realistic goal is to obviously finish my 2 semesters for this year with peace and and with good grades, of course, and still, enjoy work. I always find that the first half of the year is the easiest per
How
se
come?
because of Ramadan.
Uh,
And Ramadan we get shortened hours, so that's like good for us. And then even though it's still like busy with other things too, I just think that the fall semester with like coming back from the summer, it's always hard to like get back into it, so looking forward to the first half of this year. I think it will be quite easy. So for the first half of this year, because I know that it's one of the easier semesters at work, I hope to build like good, I guess, routines to begin with. And I know that routine is something that I struggle with, but I just realized that, I think I just have to be flexible with what I want to do and stuff and just be honest. So, New Year's resolution for 2025. I never actually make these.
me neither.
I never actually make resolutions.
Yeah. But
Um,
I mean, the terminology of New Year's resolution is not something that is in our culture either.
yeah, no.
Even the ideas of setting goals, like we're not used to
Yeah.
celebrate New Year's and everyone asking each other these questions. I think it's our friends who kind of like introduced us to these,
Yeah. Or like social
topics.
media or something.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I think more, let's not use the terminology New Year's resolutions, but goals that you want to like set for
Okay.
yourself,
Goals.
like personal goals or any.
So I already said that I want to do well in school. Like keep that up. Personal goals. Personal goals. Oh, I want to read more.
Yeah, you have a
So,
Kindle.
Yes, I do have a Kindle, but I think I can get more use out of it. I think the books that I have on there right now, they were mostly books recommended on social media. So it's a lot of like trendy books, and some of them are good. Like I've picked it up again this year, and I'm almost done with one book for the month.
What
so
are you
that's fun.
reading?
I'm reading what's it called? Beach Read or something like that. Yeah, but I started it like way back in 2024, and I'm just about to like finish it now because I put a pause on it for so much. But I think just trying to figure out, maybe try different genres or something like that.
Mhm.
I read A Thousand Splendid
Sons, yeah.
Yeah, and that was really good read. Like I did not want to put my book down. So maybe more so those kind of genres. And yeah, I was even wondering if I should like download Game of Thrones actually, like the book series,
Oh, I actually never
or like
read the
House of the
actual
Dragons or
books.
something like that,
Yeah.
because I feel like I just feel like those books are gonna be so hard to read, but yeah. But
Let's talk about Game of Thrones another day.
okay.
This is a very sensitive topic for me.
Yeah, sorry. Should have put a trigger warning.
But yes, I think a lot of people say the books are good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So maybe that's something that I'll do when I finish this book that I'm reading that I have not been able to finish.
Yeah. I just hope that you don't get disappointed with the show.
Right.
Because now you've watched the show, right? Because like a lot of the
Mhm.
time the shows never do the books justice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Right now I'm following House of the Dragons. Like I'm up to date with that. So I'm wondering maybe I should read the book for that
Mm.
and see, because that's something that's actively going.
Yeah.
Whereas Game of Thrones ended.
Yeah.
The party ended long time ago and I'm still here. But yeah. So read more. Yes. And I think that's it. Trying to be realistic with myself here.
For sure. I think like reading is really good, but I
Mm.
think at the same time you should think about like setting not a clearer goal, but like let's say you want to read more, but by more, what do you mean by more? Like, one book per month, one book
Like
per
are we setting
2
smart
months.
goals for these?
Yeah, I think smart goals are really important because then you're like, 1 week left, I have to grind, like
Right.
finish reading this book.
I guess for me, I never see it that way because I don't want to take it too serious also. Because I know when I take it serious, I'll stop it. I'll stop doing it. Like I'll just be feeling like it's work or something like that. Like if I say like I put a goal like, oh, I want to finish one book this month, I'll just put pressure on myself and then I'll find it not fun anymore. So I guess I just
that's so interesting.
Yeah, it's just not that serious for me, but I do want to read more. Yeah. I know like people put like monthly books or like, they want to read one book a month and stuff like that. And I think that's a cool goal to have. But I just know that if I set a goal like that for myself, I just won't find it fun and I'll like put pressure on myself and then I won't read again.
I think I can see your perspective because it feels like you're in college where your teacher's telling you have to finish this book. I'm like, oh, nah.
Yeah, I just want to pick up the Kindle more.
Yeah.
Like, if I feel like it's more like if I don't know what to do with my time, I don't want to pick up my phone and scroll on Instagram or TikTok. I want to let's pick up my Kindle more. Yeah. Maybe a part of that is because my Kindle is always in my work bag. I always bring my Kindle with me to work, just in case I want to do some reading in the morning or like in the afternoon. So it's never really visible when I'm at home because I don't take it out. I don't take it out. So maybe I should start by taking it out of my work bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it more visible.
Yeah. Sometimes I can't go to sleep at night and I'll think to pick it up.
Oh yeah, reading always puts me to bed.
Right.
Like, pick up a book. I don't even have to open it yet.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's me. That's why I use it. Yeah. What about you? What are some of your goals?
Some of my 2025 goals. I think personally, I want to be able to find something that I'm passionate about. In a sense, it's not just like in my personal life, but I want to focus on my careers. I think because at the moment I'm finding myself a bit lost and not totally lost at the moment, but in the past couple months I've been navigating through difficult situations and trying to keep like pushing myself through these harder moments and keep reminding myself that something better is out there. But I think I want to be able to motivate myself, find something that keep me like inspired every day, like something that wakes me up, like wants to get out of bed and like be excited to go and do, because you at the end of the day you spend like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. like working on something. I don't want to be wasting like my time working on something that at the end of the day I feel like, what am I doing in my life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think this kind of tie back to my lessons in
2024.
2024 as
Yeah.
well, because in 2024 it started out really well, and I thought that, you know, I'm like in a stable position and everything, but then all of a sudden I'm thrown into a whirlwind of uncertainties and
Yeah.
everything. So at that time I feel like the world was ending, like quite literally. And like this uncertainty scared me a lot, to the point where at sometimes like I felt like I
Yeah.
couldn't do anything anymore, you know, because I was just so nervous and scared of like what's gonna happen in the future, just like keep
Yeah.
wondering and everything. And I built like a very negative like mindset. I keep seeing things as setbacks and like just, I'm not saying I'm imagining things, but my mindset was definitely focusing on things that were
Yeah.
negative in my life, and rather than be like, oh, this is something good that happened today. Like I'm cherry picking the bad things and not focusing on the good things in life. And so it kind of created a ripple effect of like, you know, I was very demotivated and everything. And so building a more positive mindset and just reminding yourself of like the good things that happen each day, rather than focusing on what ifs in the future, really helped me a lot. Just to ground myself in the present moment and be
Where you
glad
are.
of like this, yeah, where I am and like what I've gone through. And then so I think for me, like doing a bit of soul searching and like finding what inspires me every morning is going to be something that I want to bring forward into 2025. And I am slowly finding that, but I can't say 100% this is something that I'm currently very passionate about.
I mean,
know?
I think it's
so
not easy to just wake up one day and realize, oh, like, wait, this is something I'm passionate about. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And like,
yeah,
passions can change too. I don't know. I feel like you can be
yeah,
passionate
for
about
sure.
this for 1 minute, and then the next you find yourself like being interested in something else, and you know, wanting to explore that. So you say that you're gonna do like a lot of soul searching. Like, what are the kind of things that you're gonna do, like to do that? Like, how will you try these new things? Where are you gonna try these new things?
You know, like I don't know if everyone kind of related to this, but you would get these random rush in like the middle of the night or something, and you're like, I gotta start by like cleaning my room.
Oh my god, yes. Oh my god, that's so true.
And
I get
then
that so
I will
much.
do this to be able to know, oh, this is what I'm meant to do, you know. But trust me, no matter how many times I've done this, like after cleaning the room, nothing is solved.
Yeah.
But I think it's more of like being honest with yourself, and also setting realistic goals and building routines, rather than all of a sudden, okay, if I do this, this is it, you know. Like that's too much pressure on yourself.
Right.
But rather like take it easy, and just make sure that you not forgive yourself, but also remind yourself to be like gentle towards yourself as well, you know. Like,
for sure.
yeah. So what I've been doing is that, okay, I will like take these courses online as well to like develop for my career path. Okay, I'll do this for like for job searches and everything, but I'll also make sure that I do things that is not like heavy on my mind and something that is enjoyable for me. So I've decided to pick up on like a new hobby. I'm currently doing crochets, and I've been loving it because I don't feel like I'm like, you know, always working, and I'm finding my like time for myself. And I'm at peace when I'm doing it. I don't know whether it's the repetitive motion or something, but it's super like meditative for me. And I don't spend time like worrying about like what's gonna happen to me in the future, you know, like yeah. So it kind of grounds me.
Yeah, it shows in your work too.
Yeah.
Like when you show me your pieces, your final pieces, I think it shows that you enjoy it and that
Yeah.
you love it. And I love that for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you better keep up, and I'm expecting a bag.
Yes.
I'm expecting a bag soon.
I have my thingy here, the yarn, the
Yeah.
t-shirt yarn, and I'm going to purchase a new pattern hopefully in the next couple days, because right now I'm working on another project. I'm making a top.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
On top of another.
no, nobody knows about this, okay?
Okay. They'll know soon. They'll know eventually. Anyways, I think it's nice that you kind of like balance it. You say that you are doing something career-wise, but you're also trying to not forget about your like personal life
Yeah.
and like by picking up all these hobbies. Did you have another hobby before crocheting?
Did I
I
have
feel like
a-
hobbies are such an interesting topic, because what are even my hobbies?
Yeah. I don't know if I have like a solid hobby, but I used to go like for running.
yeah, right.
But then running here is like super hard because we live in the UAE and it's so hot most of the year. I only started doing it when winter started, so
Which
something
we'll
that I would
probably be
do.
saying goodbye to again soon.
I know. Welcome to global warming.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But how did you come up with crocheting? Was that something that was always in the back of your head, or did you just wake up one day and you were like, I want to try crocheting next?
To be honest though,
Mm.
it started with punch needling.
You were always really good at these kind of things, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell them about our
So,
punch needling.
It was you took us to Kinokuniya
Mhm.
in Galleria Mall,
Yeah.
and then you were saying like, oh, there's like these punch needling things that you can like buy. It's like a kit, and then you can just like do it yourself and
Mhm.
stuff. And I was like so excited because I love DIY stuff. And we bought it and we finished it in like one night or something. Oh my god, we were up at like 3 a.m. doing random stuff.
You know, and nobody even set a deadline for us.
I know. All of a sudden, we're
so-
like, we gotta finish
we
it.
must finish it tonight.
Yeah, it was so fun though.
Yeah.
And I really liked it. So
Highly recommend for people
Yeah,
who
for
like don't know
sure.
what they want to do.
Yeah.
Just pick up a kit.
I've made
It's so
like
fun.
3 so far.
Yeah. I should go back and get one more kit.
Yeah.
It was
I
so
think
fun.
it's such a fun like date ideas. You know, you can go to like a park, buy
Yeah.
a kit each, and like do the punch needling.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Oh my god, maybe we should do that on our picnic.
Oh, that's true. Our
Yeah.
picnic is coming up.
Yeah, I shall propose to the group chat.
Yes. And they're only like, I can't remember.
Weren't they like 19 or something like that?
Yeah, around
20?
like less than 30 dirham for
Less than
sure.
30, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
super
it
fun.
started with that.
Started with that, and then I just started like seeing videos of like people doing like DIY stuff. Then I saw like knitting at first, and then I was like, knitting is so hard. Like, what is up with the 2 needles thing, you know? And then I found its sister, crocheting, and I was like, oh, crocheting, I can do crochet.
Did you know anything about crocheting before that?
I have no idea.
Like, you've never watched videos or anything? Because it
No.
went like, it's gotten super popular like the past like couple of years, I would say.
I see.
Yeah,
No.
on like TikTok at least. Yeah.
I don't have TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and my For You page on Instagram were
Which is
all
animals.
pets. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Maybe-
I've never seen them before. Only
Mm-mm.
start after like I started like searching for it, and then I saw all these like content creators making like bags and like sweaters and stuff, and I was like, whoa, like that's so cool, you know. And I don't want to like sit at home and spend time, waste time, like, you know, like feeling like, oh, just scrolling. Like, you know how you said, I want to
Yeah.
pick up my Kindle more. So
Yeah.
for me, I'm like, okay, I want to physically make something out of this like
I
time
love
that I
it.
have. Yeah.
I love it. I think it's so cool that you can make all these bags with just a yarn.
I know.
Guys, you don't understand. It's actually so cool. Like, I know you've maybe seen videos and stuff, but nothing's cool as Riti, okay? Like, her creations, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are you interested in, like, selling some of your creations, perhaps, in the future?
Yeah, so
Watch the space, guys.
I first at first when I started making it, I started
Yeah.
with a sweater and it was taking me so long. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so done with this. I don't have the patience. And she is staring at me right
Yeah.
now because I thought that by putting her outside of the cupboards. It will force me to finish it, but I've started 3 other projects I've finished.
I feel like the last time I was here last week, she was still in the same position. I don't think she's moved.
and the sweater is still here, unfinished.
It's okay. Her time will come one day.
Yeah, so then I was like looking at like these crochet bags, and I
Yeah.
was like, whoa, I want to make a crochet bag.
Yeah.
And I realized people make money out of this.
Mm-mm-mm.
And I was like, that's something I could do.
Mm-mm-mm.
But it will be a very small like project. It's gonna be like whatever I make out of this month is
Yeah.
gonna be on sale. But I don't think it'll be even every month because I don't have the capacity to
Yeah, of
make them, because they
course.
take
It's
like
life.
10 hours each.
Yeah, guys.
So
When you see those crocheting pieces online and you wonder why they're like a couple of hundred
Expensive.
dirhams each,
Yeah.
it's because they take so long.
yeah,
Yeah.
takes ages.
It's so long. And these things are heavy.
Especially if it's handmade.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So I thank you for like showing me those items that you
you.
made, because I feel like I just gained so much respect. Not that I didn't respect, you know, like all the people making crochets. I respect everyone. But it's hard.
But
like,
you gain a different perspective,
Yeah,
like a
like
level of
the-
respect
oh
for
my
it.
God,
Yeah.
the amount of hours you have to
Yeah.
spend making these. It's not
Yeah.
just, you know, I understand now, and kudos to you guys.
Yeah. So reading is gonna be your hobby.
Yeah, we'll see. I really need to pick up that Kindle more. I feel like I started out well, and then, you know, that's the thing with me. I always started well, and then I just kind of drop it off, and I want to pick it up again. So I think maybe we can do like a mid-year reflection. We should like listen back to this
Yes.
podcast and see how far we
respond to our own goals.
No, I trust you. Like, I feel like you'll do so well with this crochet thing. It's just,
I trust you too.
yeah, inshallah.
You're gonna be. Yeah.
Inshallah. Yeah. I think those are some good goals to have
Yeah.
for 2025. I think they're
I think it's
realistic enough.
important to like give yourself time to reflect on what you've achieved and what you've learned from the previous year,
Yeah.
and set yourself some goals, because it's nice to have something to work towards,
Yeah.
and keep as like a reminder for yourself
Yeah.
to keep pushing yourself.
It's
yeah.
true. You can just like easily kind of get, you know, stuck in like the waves of like everyday life.
Yeah.
And you kind of forget what you did, the things that you achieved. Like, I feel like it hasn't really even hit me that I'm a student again. You know, even though I finished one semester
Like you're a
already.
teacher and a student at the
Yeah.
same time. That's crazy.
Wait, that's so true. I didn't even think about it like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
good for you. Good for us.
Thank you. But you know, like you mentioned that you feel like time flies.
Mm-hmm.
And the concept of time flies is, I believe everyone feels it. But what do you think is something that you can help slow down time, in a sense that it helps you appreciate like the things that's happening now in the present more?
Oh God, that's so heavy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, I don't even realize that time is flying by until it's the end of the month, you know? And then I'm like at work and I'm like, oh my God, I'm writing the date down and I'm like, oh my God, how is it already like this part of January? I don't know why I just don't realize that time is flying by until so much later,
Mm-hmm.
you know? It feels like such a waste, I guess, because if I realize that time is flying by, then wouldn't I have some kind of like urgency to like do more things or something like that? But I always realize so late. Like, I think I'm just like living life, not realizing that it's like going by so fast until much later. But something that I can do maybe to like help me slow down time and be more like, I guess, present is, oh God, I don't want to say something like journaling.
Maybe
Holding a
not
mic.
like maybe not like physically journaling it, you know? Like journaling now can be in any form. You can record yourself, you can just look at photos, reflect. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be something that you have to write,
Yeah, that's true.
but it's some form of reflection.
Yeah. I think for me, maybe it's just seeing friends. Seeing you. Like, literally every time I see you, we're always reflecting on something.
Yeah.
So that helps.
Yeah.
You know, I think maybe talking with someone, Yeah, I think talking with
because
someone
then
is
you're
my
like
outlet.
spending time catching up. You're like, oh, what has happened, and then you
Mhm.
think of what you've done,
Mhm.
and then you realize that you do a lot more things than you thought you
Yeah,
did.
that's actually true because we don't really even see each other during the work week as much, and so catching up at the end of the week makes you realize, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that's my form of like, just being grounded and then reflecting on the week by week with my
Yeah.
friends and stuff. Which is so funny because remember when we were in uni, we don't really ask each other like, oh, what did you get up to this week?
Yeah, because you see each other
Every
like almost
day.
every day.
Yeah.
So then you feel like you know what's happening in
No,
everyone's
so true.
lives. Yeah.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, and then now that we are working, and whenever I get asked the question like, what did you get up to this week? And like, I think that's something new for me actually. Just like reflecting on that past week, what I did. Sometimes it makes me realize that I'm really just going through everyday like motions. Like I just go to work, I
Yeah.
come home.
But you know, like you said that you wanted to build a routine.
Yeah, but
But that's the result of a routine. You got so used to it that your brain's just like passing through. Like you're not even realizing
yeah,
it.
that's why I realized that being flexible is like useful too. I think especially with the classes and like the different schedules and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know, you just never know. So I don't want to be too rigid with the routines either. It's good to have one, but yeah.
Yeah. I think routines are good just to make sure that you do like the core things that you have, like work and your school and stuff like that. But flexibility with meeting your friends, seeing your friends during midweek and stuff like that, those are important as well.
Yeah. Seeing friends midweek is so hard for me.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me. I don't know. I think in my head I'm like, I'll see them in the weekend. But maybe it is a good idea to go out and see friends midweek too. I don't know.
Yeah. For me, I have this thought that I'm like, okay, if I see someone on a Wednesday, then it feels like Wednesday is the weekend, or like Friday, so it's like, oh, just Thursday and Friday left. It's
like a mini reward.
Yeah, it's like a mini
Oh my
reward.
God.
Exactly. So then
That's
it's like,
a hack,
oh,
actually.
2 days left. Okay, that's it. And then I have weekend off. Yeah.
That's so true. For me at work, I'm like, okay, Tuesday is the hardest day. Wait, is it Tuesday? I guess Wednesday. It's like a long day because we have all like our team meetings and stuff. So when Tuesday's out of the way, I know that Wednesday is the only hard day left.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. So then and Friday I don't even really go.
You have a half day.
Half day Fridays, yeah. So I don't really need to count Fridays. So then, after the team meeting, I'm like, oh my God, we're basically done.
Girl math.
Yeah, girl math. Yeah.
Well, I think that's a wrap for episode 1.
Yeah. Do you have anything else that you want to share?
Nothing really. Apart from hoping everyone takes their time to reflect on 2024 and set some goals for 2025, but also keep in mind that you have to be kind and gentle towards yourself. Don't put yourself on too much pressure to achieve crazy goals. Like Nuha says, set some smart goals.
Yeah, I don't know.
But also like take it easy.
Yeah.
You're doing well and you're doing great.
Yeah. I hope 2025 is a good year for everyone.
Yeah.
We're actually almost done with the first month, not to alarm anyone. It's alarming me, actually.
It's alarming both of us.
But it's okay. We'll get through it with each other. And before I end, I just want to say happy birthday to my dad. Happy birthday, Aya. I don't know if you're listening, actually, but I will send you a link, so you better listen. But
Happy birthday.
That's all for me, I think. I hope people are actually listening. And if you've made it this far, thank you.
Thank you.
If you made it this far, DM me. I'll say thank you personally. And send a screenshot that you actually finished this fully. I'm just kidding. I don't know what else to say. I'm nervous.
Okay, I think we should cut it because you're gonna get uncomfortable and continue talking.
Okay, bye. See you in our next episode.